we're just gonna run it up to 30 miles an hour, and then I'm gonna set the cruise control to 30 miles an hour, and we're gonna see what our mileage reads right there. So there's 30. It was awfully slow. So obviously the slower you're gonna go with the truck, typically the better mileage you're gonna get, but we're just cruising at a gentle 30. We're gonna let the transmission figure itself out, what gear it wants to stay in. We're gonna watch the instantaneous, so it stays around 40. 40 looks like the number, 40 to 42. Oh, we got 43. All right, now let's see what happens when we go up to 35 miles an hour. So it's going to hold 35 miles an hour. We're seeing higher numbers. Sitting on around 45, 40. Oh, we got a 48 right there. All right. It's coming back down when we hit bumps. It's not perfectly smooth. But we can see we're seeing generally higher numbers than 30, so let's see what 40 miles an hour brings us. All right, there's 40. Seeing 43, 45, 47, 48. Oh, it likes 40. Back down to 40 MPG. We're seeing some higher numbers though. It's still fluctuating a little bit more than I had anticipated. 43, it's staying, it likes 43, 45. Let's see 45 miles an hour. All right, there's our 45, and now we're seeing 30s. 36, 37, showing about 1300 RPM on this. So high 30s at 45. I didn't expect that. Let's go to 50 now. Good cruise at 50. I do know these trucks love around 60 miles an hour. 65, I believe, is the sweet spot, but sitting in mid 30s right now with the 50 mile an hour. We saw our 40 back, but again, mid to high 30s. We're dropping right there. So let's see if it evens itself out. So we're gonna call it mid 30s for 50. Let's see 55. See a drop as it accelerated, but we're leveled off at 55. The RPM is just a little bit higher, 29, 30. All right, so we got low 30s at 55 miles an hour. What a difference. 26, 30. All right, let's bring it up to 60. See how this changes things right here. We're at the 30 range. Really not much of a difference from 45 to 60 though. But we did lose those 40s we were seeing. So we got 30, 30-ish for 60 miles an hour. There's a touch of 33, 34. Let's bump it to 65. This should be roughly the sweet spot with this truck, if I'm not mistaken. Appears I am mistaken, because now we got low 20s we're seeing right now. Again, we're on Bonneville Salt Flats. This is essentially level, smooth. We're not going uphill, downhill. We have no wind out there, as you saw earlier. 65, we're at high 20s, not touching 30. Let's see what 70 brings us. Mid-20s, 26 MPG, 27. We're just continually going down the quicker we go, as expected, but I still expected better numbers with perfectly flat surface. I like that I'm out here. There's no other traffic to worry about. There's nobody to worry about. I can do these test right here, 75. We're low 20s. 23 is just continually going down. So definitely the lower RPM, lower speed, there's less drag, all that. Now let's see what 80 does to this. There's our 80 miles an hour. All right, it's leveled at 80. Got a solid 20, 21. Hey, we're seeing 22. It's a dramatic difference right there. 21, 22 seems to be the number. Let's see what 85 does. Those of us with 80 mile an hour speed limits, this is where we're sitting all the time. Let's see how bad this is hurting our fuel mileage. We got 18, 19, 20. Yeah, low 20s. Still great numbers, but as you can see, we're sitting on about 20 going at this speed. Now, obviously, we should go back in the other direction to see if there's any variance within this, but I think we kind of see how drastically the speed can change your fuel mileage. So those of us that are not getting that 30, 40 miles per hour or miles per gallon, it quite possibly could be the speed that we're traveling. I mean, we're on perfectly flat surface. Well, not flat, it's a little bumpy, but it's level. So we're gonna go ahead and bring it down right now. All right, so we're gonna bring it back up to 30. Oh, what a crawl. We're seeing some 50s there. Let's let it level off though. Try to get an accurate reading on this. 42, 43. Got some high 30s. 44 to 47. It's definitely jumping around in the mid to high 40s. Let's bring this up to 35. There's our 35. Let's let it level off. We got low 40s, mid 40s, high 40s. There's a 50. Okay, sitting on 48, 42, 47, 46. So it's bouncing around like it was before, but we got mid to high 40s with 35 miles an hour. So we're bringing it up to 40 right here. Let's see what 40 brings us. Obviously, if you're in a small town, you can cruise around at 35 to 40 all the time. You're going to get that 40, 50 mile per gallon. But right now, I'm cruising at 40. We're sitting on about 41, 43 is where it seems to like. Let's go ahead and bring it up to 45 miles per hour. All right, there's our 45. Let it level off. Side detection unavailable, probably due to weather. Let's go ahead and dismiss that. Okay, so we're at 45 miles an hour, 42 miles per gallon, 43. So we're low 40s with 45 miles an hour. Let's bring it to 50. So 50 brought us back into the 30s. We're mid to high 30s. Pretty big difference to me going 45 to 50 miles an hour. But still fantastic numbers, relatively speaking. But let's see what 55 brings us. Back into the low 30s right now, but it's coming back up, thankfully. So we got low to mid 30s at 55 miles an hour, seeing 31 to 35, dropping a little bit right there, maybe a slight wind, who knows. That's why we're doing both directions, so we can know if there's a tailwind, headwind, anything, we can get averages from this. But let's go ahead and bump it to 60. See what our mileage is now. 60, it's leveled off. We got roughly 30. I want to call it 30, even though we're seeing a 26, 29 right now. 30. It's in that area. Let's see, 65. Alright, it's leveled off at 65. Holding steady, 1400-ish RPMs right now. 25, 26 MPG. There's a 27. So it's sitting at 26, 27. Go ahead and bump it to 70. It's pretty awesome being out here on this Bonneville Salt Flats. Is rad. 70 miles an hour, 27, 28 miles per gallon. That seems to be the ticket right there. Let's go to 75. Alright, there's our 75. Let's see our RPMs. We're about 1550 on RPMs. 20 miles per gallon. 23. So 24, we're going to call it 23, 24 for 75 miles an hour. And we're bumping up to 80 once it levels off at 80. There's our 80 miles an hour. Let's give it a second to settle in. We're sitting on 21. Solid 21, 22 right there. Alright, let's go up to 85. What we're going to do next is we're going to do this exact same thing, but we're going to flip it to sport mode, because I know a lot of people say sport mode gives you better fuel economy. Let's see if we can actually see some real life results now that we've got this data right here. 18, 19 miles per gallon at 85 miles an hour. So we're starting to go down. Let's go up to 88 just for fun. 10% over the 80 mile an hour speed limit, which is what we often see. Not from me, but we often see it. So there's an 18, 19. So we're sitting on 18, 19. Alright, so let's just go ahead and disable this. Bring it down, and that's our fuel mileage for the regular. We're going to go into sport mode, loop around. Let's click the sport mode right now as we safely bring this down. And we're going to give it a second to kind of relearn itself and see if we really do get a difference in fuel mileage being in sport mode.